Welcome to Haunted Hangover Podcast. I'm Louie, and I'm joined by Sam.
Hello.
And Chris.
Hello, hello.
And as promised, we are back for this spooky season, celebratory spooky season of covering.
Give you some more goosebumps.
Give you some more goosebumps. The celebratory spooky season celebration. That's
not redundant at all.
That's not redundant at all.
No.
Of the Haunted Mask. We're continuing the antics of Carly Beth, Sabrina.
We are back with the sequel.
Chuck and Steve, the shopkeeper, all those lovely characters.
All your
Silly
favorite
guys.
friends. And the
Who else? The hippie mom?
weird sandwich.
The
weird
there's
sandwich
no
in
weird
this episode.
The weird sandwich is not in this episode.
No weird sandwich.
And
There's
that's the problem. That's what the main problem.
the main mystery of the Haunted Mask 1 was the main sandwich. But yes, we're back with the Haunted Mask 2. Deuce.
We're going to give you the long and short of it.
Oh,
Oh, this
okay,
fucking
Chris.
guy. He couldn't wait to say
He
that.
could
was
not
saving
wait
it.
to say that. Yes. The Haunted Mask Deuce Part 2, the sequel to the inferior sequel. I must get controversial on the top here. The inferior sequel to the perfect Haunted Mask original. Now, getting right into it. So obviously, big fan. We said it in the last episode covering part 1. Huge fan of the Haunted Mask episode and book. Now, when the sequel in book form was announced, I was hyped
Yeah.
because of how much I loved the original book and episode. I was over the moon. We're getting a Haunted Mask Part 2, a new ugly mask. This time, an old man ugly mask. What is going? Is Carly Beth gonna get possessed again, or is there a new kid? I didn't know. There was a lot of mystery. What is the Haunted Mask 2 when it was announced, when it was originally announced?
Yeah.
And I remember, I have a really weird memory. I remember our mother, Letty. Shout out to Letty. I know she listens. I'm sure she'll love that. I remember we were at I believe it was a Barnes and Noble. What was the other book? I think it was Barnes and Noble.
Borders was the other
Oh
one?
my
Nah,
God.
I think
Borders.
I'm pretty sure it was Barnes and Noble. Though,
You
'cause
remember that?
This was like the late '90s when this book came out.
The Forest Hills one?
It was like mid to late. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't.
We weren't
that
there
one.
yet. We were in the Boogie Down
Yeah.
Bronx.
We weren't there yet. But I remember she bought me the book because it had just come out. I don't even think she remembers this. She bought me the book, and I have a memory of going to get the book, being super excited. The episode hadn't dropped yet, the one we're covering. And we got on the bus for some reason. And I remember as soon as we sat down on the bus, I read, I don't know, like 50 pages. I remember these books were only like 150 pages.
Yeah, they were like 130 pages.
I think
You were
I
halfway
read
done.
like the first, almost half of it in this single bus ride because I was so excited to see a continuation of this story. I remember being worried that it'd be like a new group of characters, but to my surprise, most were back. So that was a good thing. Then when they announced that they were going to make it a live action episode with the same actors coming back and seeing the ads for it, and it was also a prime time special during the Halloween season, the hype got even more real. Because I was going to see a live action version of this stupid little kid wearing an old man mask with spiders in his hair. See it in live action. It's not just images in my mind. And I was curious how they would kind of adapt that for live action. Because I will say this, I'm not going to get too into it because we're really focusing on the live action episode. Part 2 to the Haunted Mask and this live action episode, they do some different things. There are some differences in the original book. A lot from what I remember has to do with the ending. And I said it the last time when we covered the original that I have an idea for a possible future episode, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much. but there are some differences. And I remember when I first watched the live action episode after reading the book, I liked what they did with the episode more than the book.
Okay.
So
nice.
That'll be coming back around when we get through what happens in the Haunted Mask 2. Now, Chris, do you have memories similar to the first one of watching this on primetime TV?
Oh, yeah.
This was a year later.
Also,
so.
like with the book too. I remember like the Scholastic Book Fair.
Oh, of course.
As iconic as the first Haunted Mask cover is, right? Because it's, the most popular Goosebumps book, I'd say. I'd argue it's the most famous.
Oh, 100%.
Next to Slappy the Dummy, right? Like those are, this is what everybody thinks of with Goosebumps. The cover for the second one, because of the anticipation of it, I remember way more. Like I have a more vivid memory of
because you were waiting
the
on
old man on the steps. That's the cover of the second book, right? Like, but to the episode, did it live up to the hype?
I mean, we're not there yet.
We'll see.
You mentioned the covers, and in the last episode, we didn't really talk about the original cover art too much. We might as well sprinkle it in here.
I mean, the original Goose, like the whole run of
you mentioned my T-shirt in the last episode.
Still
wearing it. None of us have changed, by the way. We're still wearing the same stuff you were wearing in the last episode.
It's been 17 hours.
This cover, I'll put it up on the screen, is iconic. And I will admit that he painted both of them, Tim Jacobus.
Yes.
The second one with Steve on the porch with the mask in front, like really close, and his orange shirt holding the sack. It lives up to what the story is, the story that's being told. It really plays into it. And I love how the green, and even when comparing,
so vibrant.
And that's all of the Goosebump covers. They're all vibrant. They all have a lot of colors and stuff like that. So, and both feel very Halloween-y in a sense.
Yeah.
Even dare I say the sequel cover, because there's actually, I think there's a pumpkin on the porch.
There's a pumpkin in the background.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. So, and it feels, you see a suburban neighborhood that looks like the autumn, and the him wearing like a sweatshirt and jeans and stuff. It plays up what you're going to anticipate with the book and the episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Sammy, do you remember watching the sequel?
Okay. Yes, I do. I will say I never read Haunted Mask before watching the program, but I was inspired after watching the program to read part 2. So I do remember reading it. I know we had it. Still have it. I'm sure it's the same one. So yeah, I think then I couldn't give you as much information as I could now. I didn't enjoy it as much. So obviously we'll get into that. But I didn't enjoy it as much, but the cover was sick. And I did like that.
Yeah, there's stuff about this, and we're going to break it down right now. There's stuff about this I do enjoy because you're continuing with these characters you cared about from the first one. And a lot of that has to do with Carly Beth and Sabrina and Chuck, more so than Steve, in all honesty.
Right.
So, without spoiling too much of the rest of our episode, let's just get into The Haunted Mask 2.
Tuesday on Nonstop Fox. Goosebumps is back with a brand new Halloween special.
Now this is scary.
Once you put this mask on,
What's happening to you?
it stays on forever.
Help me take it off.
Goosebumps, The Haunted Mask 2.
Tuesday at 7 on Fox 32.
So this aired October 29th, 1996. Almost a year.
Just about a year later.
Just about a year later. Goosebumps, the show had been running, was hot. Everyone was watching that TV show. Some people never even read the books. They were just watching the TV show. They were too lazy to read. So, Hooked on Phonics didn't work for everybody. So those people did not read the books. They just
a 96 reference again.
There you go. They just watched the TV specials. Again, it aired on Fox, like I said before, prime time, Fox 5 here in New York. We made that same gag, how we have the better Fox in New York City.
We still do. I
think all Foxes are not better, but Fox 5 rolls off the tongue.
Fox 5, the number and the station just roll off the tongue. This was 36, based on the 36th book of the series. Imagine writing 36 books.
Yo.
Apparently,
he wrote more than that. He wrote fucking, what was it, like 100 in the original Goosebumps run, or like 80 in the original Goosebumps run?
Yeah. Side tangent. There's always been rumors that he didn't write all of them, and that some of them are ghostwriters. There have been rumors that a few of the books are someone else wrote them, but
that rumor's been around for 30 years.
We won't get into it too much, but I believe he wrote the good ones, and some of the bad ones, because not all the books were good, were not him.
Yeah.
But maybe
it's a lot at a certain point. Once you get your name out there and the brand out there.
Yeah.
I get it.
The name, the series title Goosebumps and the name R.L. Stine were bigger than even he was at that point. Like, it was just this brand that was a monster. And at this point, the TV show had been on for a year. They had prime time spots. There were toys. It was like Goosebumps-a-mania, basically, at this point. You know, just between all the books.
Still, like the brand has lasted, right? Like you're wearing a Goosebumps shirt that you clearly didn't buy 30 years ago.
No, I wish I did.
Like the brand has lasted because they're good stories.
I do have a Goosebumps hat from the 90s, if that makes you feel better.
Hey, that's sick.
I should have wore it. It's pink.
You don't want to double down, though.
I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, be that guy extra.
Triple that guy. We don't want to do that. Yeah, Goosebumps again. At this point, Goosebumps was the real deal when it came to like children's horror programming.
Yeah.
It surpassed a lot of what came out before.
This was your Halloween 1996 plans, right?
Yeah, and when you think about it, like stuff like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Erie, Indiana, all shows we've talked about on Haunted Hangover. Goosebumps surpassed all of them, I think, when it came to just pop culture.
Yeah, you can't
being in a
top
zeitgeist.
It.
Yeah, and especially like a year deep. So Goosebumps again was just where it was at. Oh, this is season 2, episode 11. Much like the previous installment, if you're watching it on Netflix and syndication, etc., it's episode 11 and 12. I watched it as a special, just like the first one. I've always preferred to watch it as one singular episode than separate into 2. But if that's the way you got to watch it, that's the way you got to watch it. It's still the same deal, so it doesn't really matter that much. So the cast, for the most part, everyone came back. Our boy Colin Fox, R.I.P. We won't go off in a daylight tangent once again.
Just go back and listen to that episode.
Yes, we won't. We won't torture you guys again with our.
I could.
We could, yes, but we won't. We won't torture everyone's eardrums with our love for daylight. He's back again, shopkeeper. Catherine Long back as Carly Beth. Catherine Short back as Sabrina. Long and Short. I butchered his name last time. Almost Crowley. He's back as Amos. Almost Amos Crowley as Chuck. He's back once again. But
the mustache is back.
The mustache is back. The drawn-on mustache and the braces. But unfortunately, Steve was recast for the sequel. The actor John White took over the role. And at this point, he was in the Cuckoo Clock of Doom episode of Goosebumps. Okay. I don't think this actor was in an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode.
He was.
He was, right? Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure if I remember a lot of them.
Jonathan Thomas Jefferson Bradshaw in The Tale of the Carved Stone.
I knew he was. I mean, all these actors were in Are You Afraid of the Dark.
They shared easy casting. Productions, easy casting. Yeah.
This dude is still acting and working on stuff today. If you go on his IMDb page, he's still doing his thing. He's still out there. He looks almost the same, which is crazy too. Like, you see his face, you're like, oh, minus the like Jonathan Taylor Thomas hairdo. He looks the same, like in the face.
Quintessential 90s hairdo. Yes. Do you know why? Did they just feel like old Steve did a Yeah, Steve, right? That they feel like his acting wasn't as good. Did he have another project going on?
I didn't find anything. I don't know if it was that maybe they found someone better, maybe because this guy, they thought maybe since Steve, the character of Steve,
around him,
is
he's
more
got more to do, right?
So they wanted maybe a better. Not to say that the Steve in the original was bad. I thought he was good.
It was short, but he was so cute. I liked him.
His screen time was a lot less in the original.
Right. Yeah. This character is the central character this time around. So.
And when it came to Chuck and Steve, Chuck really kind of took the lead in that duo. When you really think about it, like Chuck was the one, and in this, Chuck is very important. Well, they're all 5 characters are important to the story, but again, Steve is the main protagonist of this story. So I'm assuming maybe they wanted someone with some better acting chops. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm wrong. If anyone knows, let us know. I think I looked it up, and I think I read that they just recast the role, and that was it. I think that's all I saw. So not many details. Maybe we'll find out in the future. Who knows?
Next year we're gonna be too old for Halloween.
It's okay by me.
Well, it's not with me. Life's passing us by, man. It's just passing us by. There's stuff I gotta try. The years go by, and before you know it, you're a drooling, disgusting old man.
I drool sometimes.
Yeah, you're a disgusting young man.
So, The Haunted Mask 2 jumps forward 1 year, much like the episode. 1 year forward, real time. We catch up with Carly Beth, who's hanging with Sabrina, like always. That is her best friend. Both episodes start with them walking down a desolate, creepy street, which I do love. I do love the kind of the way
thematic
both stories,
symmetry.
Yeah, the symmetry between both episodes. Carly Beth, you can tell they grew up a little bit between the 1 year because they're kids. So at this point, it's like you can just tell they look a little different.
I would have deaded Sabrina's ass if I were Carly Beth after the way she treated me last year.
No more being friends with Carly Beth, but they're still their best buds. The two of them are heading home from a Halloween party, and they hear some noises coming from behind a tree. Carly Beth, very different now, investigates the noise and scares Chuck and Steve before they jump out. The boys complain about Carly Beth no longer being a scaredy cat and explain how she was way more fun last year. What a way to throw it in her face.
Yeah, you were more fun when we could torture you.
Yes, we were more fun. You were more fun.
You were miserable.
Yeah, we had a great time treating you like shit.
Yes.
Just like a man. Just like a man.
Oh, we'll be getting into that. This really affected. So this is what I even am looking at my notes right now. I'm laughing at this because him treating Carly Beth like garbage really affected him emotionally.
Yeah.
My man ain't right this year. Yeah. 1996 Halloween season, doing him dirty because Carly Beth
isn't afraid of him
anymore.
That's it.
And he wants to know more about the mask she had last year that scared both of them.
Scary.
Scared Chuck and Steve, but she refuses to tell them. The boys, being the little shitheads that they are, take her plaster of Paris head that she now walks around with as her symbol of love because she's still a little shook. I bet
she's got some residual mental problems. She's carrying around a fucking head.
Yes. I was going to say, it doesn't go with the duck costume.
Is she Al Snow?
Well, there is a small detail. They are having a conversation when they left the Halloween party, and she said she was dressed up as a two-headed Carly Beth. So that's why she had the head. I guess was supposed to be part of her costume. We just never see the costume. Yeah. She says it in dialogue. She goes, everyone enjoyed a two-headed Carly Beth. Whatever. So the boys grab the head. They're throwing it, tossing it, back and forth. The girls are jumping up, trying to catch it.
Little keep away. Little game of keep away.
I believe it's Sabrina who catches it. She catches the plaster of Paris head and gives it back to Carly Beth. And we learn that Carly Beth buried the haunted mask after the events of the original. So she buried it in the cemetery. Because why? That's what you do as a 13-year-old. You go you bury haunted mask in cemeteries.
It's trauma.
Yes. So we jump to said cemetery and learn that the mask has rised from its grave and heads to the novelty shop, where we see the shopkeeper, our boy, Colin Fox.
Did you know he was in Daylight?
Did you know? I didn't know that. Did you know that he was in Daylight? Did you know he's got like, so his seal scars, we said that they were like seal. They're a little more, his scars are a little worse now, and his face is.
Yeah, he's looking a little worse for wear.
And his face is kind of turning a shade of green. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. So he's getting kind of uglier because the face that he's wearing. We insinuated that the face might be a mask. It's getting all decrepit and gross. So the shopkeeper is burning all of the haunted masks we saw in the last episode. And the main haunted mask shows up and confronts the shopkeeper, attaching itself to him. The two of them have some dialogue, and we learn that the reason the mask is back is because Halloween. Halloween has brought him back.
Halloween is back, yeah.
This was a detail left out in the original, but I'll let it slide. The Halloween was never the reason the haunted mask existed. It was because of Carly Beth using it.
Right.
But
it had nothing to I guess like it
they needed a reason.
It got its, life, and now that's its mission.
Yeah, I mean, again, they needed an excuse. The mask is basically Michael Myers. It comes back every Halloween.
Yeah.
Back to Steve moping around, being an emo bitch at school. He's bummed about getting older, having to dress up as a pirate. He explains to Chuck that they need to do something cool this year. It may be their last chance to do something really scary for Halloween. They see the shopkeeper donning the haunted mask now. He's being controlled. And he leads the two boys to the novelty shop into the basement, where Steve finds a decrepit old man mask. Now, I want to stop here because I do like and enjoy that the novelty shop is still a thing. But for some reason, it is now falling apart and abandoned.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, it's been 1 year, guys.
Outside of the Halloween season, plus people talk, it's a small town.
Guys,
Granola mom was probably like, this dude sold my daughter a fucked up mask, and she needed therapy for 6 months.
What do you think that guy does for work?
But it's just funny because when they're in the basement and like Steve finds the mask, there's like cobwebs all over everything.
Yeah, it is rotten.
The sign is falling off. Yeah. You would think decades have gone by, but it's been 1 year.
A really rough year.
Yeah, that was a really rough year for the shopkeeper. After Carly Beth stole his mask, those tariffs did him in. 1996 tariffs did him in. He's no longer able to sell Halloween mask and fake dog poo and make a living anymore. But yeah, back home, Steve tries on the mask, and here he starts to talk to himself like a psychopath, that he's going to scare people. He's really like, he's got a hard-on for scare. He's going to scare people.
Mad with power.
He's mad with power.
Yeah.
Because of this old man mask.
He's going off the deep end.
Yes, he's losing his mind. Dare I say, worse than Carly Beth. Even Carly Beth wasn't this mad.
Yeah, so I think that like plays into the episode though, right? Like Carly Beth was a good person. Steve is not, right? Like that.
Steve's
I think that's
garbage.
He's a goofy bull, and I think that's part of why he's like worse with the mask, right? It amplifies you. But he's already bad, so it takes bad to worse, whereas Carly Beth went from like normal to bad.
I didn't even think about that. Bad is all like perspective though, right? Because she wanted to scare people, and that's exactly what she did. She kind of became cooler when she was scarier. Yeah. She was kind of like doing the cool thing, which is scaring all the other kids, whereas he got more fucked up.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That makes sense. I didn't think about that.
The motives are different. The motives behind wanting these masks is different, when comparing the two situations. But yeah, he's like full-blown psycho at this point. He's really like talking to himself.
Like fucking kill a small animal. Like this guy's going off
tonight is my night. I'm going to scare everybody.
Yeah.
He lies to his mother about putting on the pirate costume. He says, like, oh, I'm going to change into it at Chuck's house. Outside, he changes into the old man mask and puts on an old man cardigan. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
As you do.
As you do if you're going to be a creepy, decaying old man. And he begins his so-called reign of terror. It's very short-lived. Reign of terror.
Yeah.
Doesn't go very long. We get a little moment with Carly Beth, her mom, and the asshole brother, Noah, returns. And learn that he was able... So the end of the first one ends with the cliffhanger. We remember. Noah puts on the mask.
Right.
We learn that he was able to get the mask off because he only put it on once.
Right. There was the rules of like how many times before it takes you over.
I questioned that in the last episode because I was like, did they say that in the original? That if you take it off more than 3 times, it stays stuck?
Well, he didn't, but he does say, how many times have you taken it off?
Right,
and she
right.
she tells him how many, and then he was like, okay, so there's still time. So yes and no. Doesn't say 3 times, but he definitely says that it's, not it's in the realm.
And I also think like the longer you wear it, the harder it is to separate too.
Right.
It also negates the cliffhanger ending of the original.
Just
like,
no pickup.
He put it on once and that was it. Like, all right, cool. Like, so it wasn't as horrific as we were led on to believe with Noah putting on the haunted mask. So the haunted mask in the shopkeeper's body is stalking Carly Beth at this point. Like he's like a prowler over here.
Obsessed.
He's like looking through the window at her. He's growling at the symbol of love, plaster of Paris head that's on the, like on a shelf or something. We know the haunted mask wants Carly Beth. So Carly Beth meets up with Sabrina in their costumes. Carly Beth is wearing her duck costume.
Her duck costume.
She wears almost the entire episode, which is amazing.
So mom, good mom, like put that thing back together after Carly Beth went fucking
destroyed it.
Yeah. And she grew like 4 inches.
Yeah.
I do love that, again, that small detail that she's wearing it the whole, because it's like it was the bane of her existence.
Right.
Yeah.
In the original one. In this one, she's come to terms with it's kind of cool.
Yeah, she's grateful. She's more grateful.
She's more grateful. And Sabrina is a tiger. There's even a joke where an old man that's giving out candy calls her a cat. She's like, I'm a tiger. That is the crux of Sabrina's character development. Like, that's basically it. That is
so lame.
Sabrina continues to not add much. There's not much depth to Sabrina's character outside of being the best friend.
But even less so in this episode.
Yes. Yeah. They run into Chuck, who is dressed up as a gangster. He's a mafioso type.
The mustache.
With his Marlon Brando cotton swabs in his mouth.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm a tough guy. Hey, he's doing that. And that's literally what he's doing. Oh, the Calupula family. And then they don't understand him. He takes the cotton swabs out and he's like, I'm a gangster. And they're like, oh, okay. Carly asks about Steve to Chuck, but he brushes off the fact that they went to the old novelty shop and Steve stole a mask. He does not want Carly Beth to know this information.
Nope.
Steve, in his old man mask, finds Chuck, and similar to the scene from the original, he has an argument with him. You could tell Chuck, that's his boy. He cares about him. He's like, listen, man, maybe take off that thing. It's gross. It's weird.
Got spiders on it.
Yeah, he's like, you don't need that to
making you crazy.
Yeah, can I touch it? And he's like, no. Oh, you want to touch it? Here you go. And he puts it back on. He's being a real jerk to Chuck.
Yeah.
And they get into an argument. He basically is like, I don't need you. Like, I don't need you suck. Like, get away from me. You're horrible. Again, similar to what happened between Sabrina and Carly Beth in the original one.
Right.
The two separate. Steve begins harassing trick-or-treaters and destroying
some girl's candy bag.
Yeah, he starts destroying property, pumpkins, decorations.
Same thing that Carly Beth did last year.
But this time around, instead of the mask kind of making him this strong, supernatural being, it's making him a very weak old man.
Yes.
He's basically, his knees are shot. He's out here
walking.
walking.
The characteristics of an old man.
He's out here walking.
He's wheezing. He's panting.
Yeah, he's walking around here all messed up. He basically looks like a wrestler, like Ric Flair walking around these days. Like it's like a looking shot. He's looking shot. Listen, Ric Flair's the best, but no offense. Yeah, he's looking shot. I mean, he can barely stand. Like his knees are all bent. He even has to grab a stick to help him walk at a certain point.
Right.
So he's becoming a senile old man. Everyone he encounters is either scared or grossed out by him. So there's this one scene, right? So he comes across like this one kid dressed up as a football player.
Yeah.
And this one kid dressed up as a Dracula. And I always love this scene. I always just think it's a really, just kind of the wording and the dialogue is really funny. So this is how Steve finds out that he's become one with the mask.
My mask. Take it off, please.
Oh, you smell, mister.
Take it off.
Okay. I'm trying. Hold still.
So the one kid approaches him and he's like, "Oh man, sorry, sir, you smell."
Yeah.
like literally.
He calls him an old drunk.
Yes.
He's like, that's just some old drunk. Let's go.
He's like, "You're an old drunk and you smell."
And it's like a 13-year-old boy. It's so funny to me.
Yes, but I just love the lingo used here.
Yeah.
To describe what he looks and smells like.
So we got an old hag in the first episode and an old drunk in this episode.
He got even younger.
A smelly old drunk.
Yeah.
He stinks. And this is where he figures, so the football kid goes up to Steve and he's like, "Oh, that's not a mask. That's your real face."
Yeah.
Like he can't take it off. He's kind of like, there's no line.
No bottom.
Again, this scene has less oomph.
Yeah.
Because it's a
then
random
the realization.
It's a random extra or two.
Yeah.
It's two extras. Whereas it being Chuck would have made more sense.
Right.
Since that's his best friend. If they're trying to mirror what happened to Carly Beth in the original one. So it doesn't have the same, this scene doesn't have the same power.
Yeah, there's way less impact.
Way less emotional impact. And then Steve is just like falling over. And
it's so fucking funny.
Yeah. He's just tripping over himself.
It's also funny to see, and I don't know if this was like an acting choice or a script direction choice, to see a kid doing their best old man impression. Yeah. Like, I'm like, this is how you see old people? He's just like coughing up and like falling all over the place. It's so manic and so funny to me.
He's coughing up a lung. His hands turn into like, and this isn't even
little,
an old
like, liver spot old man.
They're not even. I'll be honest. He doesn't even look like an old man. He looks like a
demon,
like a
zombie
or something,
like a witch. Just pointy nose and the spiders in the hair, the green scrim, the one tooth, like with a hole in it.
Yeah,
which is described way better in the book. I remember in the book they described the tooth having a hole in it, and it's way. The mask is cool in this, but nowhere near the same coolness of the original Carly Beth, the original mask, which is obviously in this as well, but doesn't look as good. But we'll get into that later. So, speaking of the Haunted Mask confronts old man Steve and explains that he's going to do his bidding because he's like his slave now. You're my slave because you're old. Very ageist, that Haunted Mask, apparently.
Sure is.
And he tells Steve, you need to get and destroy Carly Beth's plaster of Paris head, aka the symbol of love, by midnight. This is again, the lore is expanded on.
Yeah.
Now the mask needs
by midnight on Halloween.
By midnight,
yeah, on
know.
Halloween. There's more. Yeah. They add certain again the taking it off 3 times, the midnight thing. These are things we did not hear in the original, so they're adding more and more to what this mask needs to do to keep thriving. I guess on Halloween night.
Right.
I mean, it's a
doing his
sequel.
job.
You got to expand on the sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, what he wants, the Haunted Mask, is to be back on Carly Beth.
Right. Permanently.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because he's already on a body. The mask is already... Oh, why can't you use the shopkeeper's body?
Why is her in particular?
I mean, I guess it's like a host
young
thing. Yeah, she's younger,
Yeah.
more life.
I guess it's never explained.
No.
They never tell you why in the hour-long runtime why it needs, unless I missed it, why it needs to be on her. It comes off as like just a revenge plot. Like basically,
maybe they just had something special, the two of them.
Like Eddie Brock and Venom.
Yes,
right.
She defeated me last year, so I want to make her life a living hell and be attached to her once again.
Maybe the mask wants revenge now. You thought you can get rid of me. You know what I mean? Kind of like that idea.
What the mask wants to do, I don't know. Like when it attaches itself to Carly Beth, what's next, bro?
Yeah, what's its purpose? Yeah.
What do you want to? Are you trying to destroy the world? Like that? That's never said.
Take a nap?
Is he? Yeah, weird. So Chuck owns up to Carly Beth about Steve getting the mask, and he's now worried about him. Carly Beth, Chuck, and useless Sabrina start looking for him around town, and they go to the novelty shop in attempt to get information, much like
Why
Carly
wouldn't they
Beth.
go there first?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you even looking around town for? Just go to the shop.
I mean, that's what she did in the first one. So it's like,
Right.
all right, she goes back there to get more information and talk to the shopkeeper. When they get there, it's all falling apart. So that she's just as confused as we are as the watchers of this, why it looks like shit now. Steve eventually gets his hands on the plaster head by stealing it from Carly Beth's house and tricking her mother by pretending to need a glass of water because he's an old man. That's literally what happens.
Yeah, that's it.
Literally what happens in that scene. He takes the head over to the graveyard as instructed, and he's told by the Haunted Mask to destroy it right before the head comes to life again, saying, "Help me, help me,
Help me."
Apparently, this plaster head is still alive, even though Carly Beth is not the one wearing the mask. So I thought it was living because she was wearing the mask in the last one.
It's her object of love.
Symbol
right?
of
It's the
love.
thing that breaks the curse, right? The
But
symbol of love.
then she also has like her little duck costume on.
Why was the head alive? Even still.
They needed it to be alive for the episode.
That will be a question, just like the mystery
Just like the
sandwich. Yes, we will never. Like, why did it still?
We understand the mask, but we don't understand the talking.
No, like I get why
project.
it talked in the original one because Carly Beth was wearing the mask. In this episode, she's not wearing the mask. Steve is wearing a mask, and the haunted mask is on someone else. Shouldn't it be the shopkeeper's symbol of love that talks if he had one?
Honestly, if you really want to break it down, Carly Beth has fucking nothing to do with it. At this point, she's completely out.
Yeah. Well, she's not out because Carly Beth, Chuck, and Sabrina end up at the cemetery. They even have a line of dialogue. "Isn't this the place that you scared us last year?" Chuck says.
It's a small town, Chuck.
But she's like, "Don't remind me.
Don't remind me, Chuck."
Yeah.
So once in the cemetery, they're confronted by the haunted mask. Here, Steve is instructed to hold on to Carly Beth in place so that the haunted mask can detach itself from the shopkeeper and float its way over and attach itself to Carly Beth. It does so in bad CGI.
The mask.
Steve, yes, the mask.
Get that bitch. Get that bitch. Hold that bitch.
Steve, in a last-ditch effort, because he's not so bad, pushes Carly Beth out of the way, tricking the mask. The mask, this too is confusing, sort of misses Carly Beth because she's pushed, remember, and then kind of floats in front of Steve's head while and then kind of spins and floats into the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's dead.
It's dead. Clock strikes midnight. The haunted mask has failed And the shopkeeper explains that Steve pushing Carly Beth out of the way was his symbol of love to her.
I can't even with this.
I'll get
just
into
an overabundance of exposition at this point.
So the kids, they all go back to Steve's house. Unfortunately, the shopkeeper was not invited. He just walks off into the night. Fuck him. I guess you have a failing business.
He's got to go back and clean up the shop.
You have a failing business.
He's got to get a feather duster. Get those cobwebs out of there.
Your face is turning to mush and green. My man's wearing a cape. Who cares about the shopkeeper? He's not invited back to Steve's house. All the kids, Carly Beth's there, Sabrina's there, Chuck's there. Obviously, Steve's there. His mom is there. They're all around the campfire. Mom's going to make some hot cocoa. And then both Carly Beth and Steve decide. They look at each other. You know what we have to do next, huh?
Make out.
Yeah, if they were a few years older.
He should have dressed up like a pirate.
Yeah, if it was a few years older, probably. But they decide that they have to burn the two masks because they both have them in their possession. And the episode ends with both of them chucking the mask into the fire, and the four kids look on as the mask melt and deteriorate. And it ends officially with Steve's dog, Sparky, grabbing the haunted mask, the main haunted mask, from the fireplace, taking it out to the backyard, burying it, and it's still alive as it moves with dirt being thrown on its face. And that was The Haunted Mask 2.
Bring it to me.
Bring what?
The head of Carly Beth.
Now, I don't want to start with the negatives. So
Okay.
don't you dare. We're taking our time to get there. I do want to talk about how this story is told, because we kind of hinted at it before when we were breaking down how, since Steve is, I would say Carly Beth is in it a lot too. She is more of a supporting role, but she is vital to the plot. Like what is going to happen, what the Haunted Mask wants to do. And she's the one helping Steve get it off. And she's the one that has gone through this before and has defeated the Haunted Mask. And I appreciate all of that when it comes to sort of a narrative plot device. It works.
She's the MacGuffin for the story.
She's the MacGuffin. Yeah. It works. It gets you from point A to point B because Carly Beth was so important to that original story. And Catherine Long is equally as good in this. It's a good performance as well. My problem, and this is not a negative, my only kind of issue with sort of the subtext of this is, what is the subtext? Now, I do have one bit of information that I feel kind of gets lost in this episode that I do like, but I think it kind of goes over people's heads. Maybe it didn't with you guys. Steve early on says that they're growing up and they won't be able to celebrate Halloween anymore. This might be their last year celebrating Halloween. And he even jokes around with Chuck. He's like, you'll be a shriveled up, drooling old man. And Chuck's like, oh, I like to drool, or something like that, he says. So I always took it, and it could have been executed better. I always took it that it's about getting older and time kind of flying by, which we've all experienced. We joked around, when we covered part 1, that the original Haunted Mask is 30 years old. We're all getting older. Right. And this Haunted Mask 2 plot with Steve really kind of hones in, aging and becoming an adult and getting older. Was it executed properly? Not necessarily. And I don't want to dive into that yet because that's more my dislikes. Right.
But when you start with that, right, then we don't really, the obvious is that he is getting older.
Yeah.
At the end, he has like a moment with his mom, which was kind of like punny, where she's like, what happened? You didn't have a good time? Didn't have a good night? And he goes, yeah, I guess I'm just getting too old. Kind of funny because it's like he was actually getting too old, but they mean it in the sense of like, you're too old to celebrate Halloween. Yes. We do like kind of revisit it. It's like a little bit of an arc, but it's just not enough to talk about there.
Because he's becoming an old man and he's becoming what he said he would. They literally see an old man walking, and like, there's a couple of old men in this episode playing into kind of becoming old.
Right.
But yeah, it's just weird because originally Steve wants the mask because he wants to scare Carly Beth.
Right.
And he never gets to.
No.
So they should have tweaked it in a way where that wasn't his drive initially, and it should have been just having a good Halloween night, which is sort of his second plot device, because he says that I want to go out and make this a Halloween to never forget. And I like the whole aging thing. I like that as
I think that's a very realistic thing, right? Like every kid goes through that phase of like, and when you mentioned about how they talk about how they were, getting too old for Halloween, the first thought that popped into my head was like, kid, if you only fucking knew, like, forget about that too cool for Halloween phase. It sucks.
Yeah.
Love Halloween forever, right? Like, if I could go back and tell like 16, 15-year-old me, like, go out in a costume no matter what. Like, it's cool. Right. You get to that point where you're like too cool for Halloween, but then, as you grow older than that, right? Like you come to
have
realize
more
that
fun.
that's a silly thing. Like, and it is a very realistic thing that I think is kind of universal, that all kids go through that, like, oh, this is going to be my last Halloween. Getting
too old for Santa, getting too old for Christmas. Yeah, same thing.
And I think they initially did a good job with it, but it gets lost.
It gets muddled
with all that's exactly like Carly Beth.
Too much going on
with all the Carly Beth stuff and all the kind of shopkeeper haunted mask wanting to find the symbol of love and destroy it, and then it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. And I wish they would have really focused on that more. It's not a con, because I think when they do it, it lands. I think they did a good job, and like Sammy said, at the very end, it does play into it. It does come back around where he says, oh, maybe I am too old with his mom. He has that line of dialogue.
There's just a lot of extra stuff that
yeah,
all of that together creates sort of a less clear picture of what they're trying to get at.
And the ending with, and I get what they were going for, like the ending, and I joked when we did the first episode, and I wish they would have just kind of went all the way with it. The ending with him sort of sacrificing himself and pushing Carly Beth out of the way was a symbol of love. It's almost insinuated, what did he like care about her and like her?
Right.
And,
we also don't even like they say kind of in Haunted Mask 1 that he seems like he must like you. We like you, and that's why we bully you, right? So I think that like if to the blind eye, if you go ahead and see part 2, you're kind of expecting them to be friends after that. And they don't really seem like they're friendly, but they don't really seem to be friends or close. I feel like if even we had a little bit more of that, then that'd be obvious that the symbol of love was that.
Like I said, I like I just wish they would have leaned more into like almost like he had like a little crush on her after what she did in the first one, but still kind of wants to scare her.
It didn't really, like, their relationship dynamic should have changed from one to the other, and it didn't necessarily.
I mean, at the end, they're all together and they're by the fireplace, and they're a gang now. The 4 of the characters that we've followed for 2, like I say, movies, but specials. But yeah, I just felt like I just wish there was a little bit more of that and less of the shopkeeper running around with the mask, because I did like the whole aging aspect of it. It just, him wanting to scare her gets forgotten about for the most part, and it was just like his greed, I guess. I want to be scary so I can scare her. And
like get her back for getting them back.
Yeah, it's playing up her arc in the first one.
Sort of backwards.
The perspective is flipped, and it doesn't really work the same way. So that's kind of my only issue. I wish they would have just focused more on like the aging part, which they do, because he's turning old the entire episode. So it's kind of like his own words are coming back to haunt him. But I wish when it came to his relationship with Carly Beth, they could have done a little bit more with maybe there was a little thing there going on. And I get that they're like 12, 13, whatever. But you could have done something, you know.
That's when your
Formative years.
hormones are raging.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a line where Chuck says after the shopkeeper's like, "Oh, that was your symbol of love," and Chuck goes, "This is a little too deep for me." And Sabrina, her only like really thing she does in this episode, she goes, "A wading pool is too deep for you," insinuating that there was a little crush, something going on there, and it just went over his head. He doesn't understand it because Chuck is a dumb character. He's a dumb guy.
Yeah.
And this goes back to what I joked around with Sammy earlier. They definitely play up men and young boys being idiots even more in this, which is fine, but it doesn't, it's like, it doesn't justify where the story goes at all. It's like even Chuck Chuck is his friend, and at the end of it, he's still just a dumb boy.
Yeah.
But Steve is the mature one. I'm like, it would have been nice if, you know, Chuck got a little something going on for his character, but that's not what he's there for, I guess. You know, I know we're overanalyzing
Goosebumps.
That's what we're here for.
But comparing it to the first one,
right, which is
where I feel
obviously the more superior one.
No, when comparing kind of the story they're trying to tell, the subtext of that one, and where it goes, and how, again, we talked about how care about yourself, give yourself more credit, don't be so hard on yourself, learn to appreciate yourself, and all that jazz. The execution of this one is not as good as the first one.
No, not at all.
You get everything. That's a solid screenplay, script, story, even the book and episode overall, where this one kind of falls short with certain aspects of kind of what they're trying to say. And I know that sounds like a con, but going back to my original point, I do like the aging aspect of it.
I think that is, I think that's my favorite part of this episode as well. Just watching him just slowly get more and more
becoming
old.
What he said he was going to become.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like, bro, you want to feel old? You're 13.
Here it goes.
Here you go. You're going to feel like a 90-year-old man now.
I agree with you where it's like we didn't get a point where they say, well, you know what, maybe it's good not to grow up too fast, or don't try and rush the process. I do feel like this one is although part one obviously did better, it is a little redundant. A lot of lines are reused in this one. The old shop, returning to the old shop is a little redundant to me.
Chuck even says, I hate mints twice. I don't know if you guys picked up on that.
Just like same exact thing happened. I feel like if they're going to do a part two, we can re-script it and do something different with it. I don't love that part of it. I also really want to point out, I think my biggest problem, and maybe you guys will disagree with me, I do not love that the haunted mask made its way onto the shopkeeper, because it takes away from like what makes it so horrifying to me as a viewer.
Yeah.
I feel like the mask latching on to this little sweet, harmless girl was terrifying, who she transformed to. But putting the mask on this already evil, kind of menacing character who's an older adult wasn't scary to me. Yeah. You don't even see his eyes. And
they did. I hated that when they
so
blacked out
weird.
his eyes.
Yeah, it's just blacked out like that.
Yeah,
and it's so much scarier to see a sweet, innocent, preteen girl with this terrifying mask that sweats and dribbles and shit.
Right.
Like
versus a character who clearly has skeletons in the closet.
Right. So that's my mask dodging weird. That's my issue.
Well, the mask never even gets greasy like it does on Carly.
No,
Beth.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it's all dry the whole episode.
It was just kind of lame. Obviously, there's other things to pick at, but that's like my least favorite part of this episode for sure.
On the subject of the mask, Steve's old man mask, I do like. It does look
I love his mask. I don't love the
what they did with the original.
Exactly. Yeah. That I don't
I mean, Steve's mask got, like I said, like spiders crawling on it that you see, and like it's a good creepy mask. Whereas I guess you could say, it's been buried in the ground for the past year, so that's why it's dry. But
right.
No, I'm talking about when it comes to the dryness, we're talking about the original Haunted Mask.
That's what I'm saying. It was buried. Yeah.
So,
but even with that being said, though, like it takes form by latching onto your skin and becoming a part of you. So it would essentially just be the same thing, right? It wouldn't it just take on the same purpose, sweat, be greasy, eyes, teeth, like.
So the old man has dry skin.
Right, yeah, it's his
the
problem.
The shopkeeper's.
It is. It's all his problem.
It's his problem.
He needs some Lubriderm,
little
Lubriderm,
Aquaphor.
Yeah, I agree. The mask on the shopkeeper doesn't look as cool compared to the original.
Yeah,
but I think that's just because they had two masks, so they wanted Steve in the old man mask to just. He had the spiders. He had the tooth.
That's the main mask for the episode, so it had to look better.
Yeah,
you don't even see his teeth. The boy's teeth.
They sneak through a little bit, but they black them out, and they have like one nasty rotted tooth poking out. But again, it affects him differently. Like I said, his hands change into like Crypt. He almost looks like the Crypt Keeper in reality. That's kind of the vibe they're going for with him. But I do dig that, and I agree. The haunted mask, the main haunted mask, is less effective in the sequel. There's one thing I wanted to mention to you guys that I vaguely remember because I haven't read part 2 in a couple of years. I tend to revisit part 1 more. The ending. So you see how in this they do the whole symbol of love thing with him pushing her out of the way, etc. In the book, if I remember correctly, the mask that Steve's wearing, the old man mask, it wants to be reunited with its costume. It was part of a bigger costume.
Like a piece, yeah.
And the book ends with like it reuniting with the costume and running away. Like that's how they defeat.
So silly, but I almost would have preferred that.
No, I think, and I insinuated this earlier, I think the ending in the show is better than the book ending because I think that's a silly ending.
It is silly, but they could have done it. They could have kept that ending. It needs to be reunited with the rest of it. It needs to be reunited with the original face, the person. They could have made it work. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was. I think that's what I think they just wanted more Carly Beth, and they wanted more of like they wanted to continue those characters. Yeah. I mean, because that's a silly. From what I remember, again, I don't have all the details in front of me because it's been a couple of years since I've read part 2. But I just remember that the whole point of the old man mask is that it wants its body. Like there's more to it, and when it's together, it like comes to life complete. And like jogs away. So silly. Again, I think this is a better.
I do. Yeah, I like the ending.
Yeah, I think this is a better ending overall.
Carly Beth, last year when all that stuff happened to you with the mask.
Yeah.
I know you don't like talking about it, but I just wanted to say whatever happened, I'm just glad you're happy and we're out here having fun.
I'm glad too, Sabrina.
The Halloween vibes in this one, dare I say, not as good as the first. They don't hit as hard.
No.
I don't know why it is. It looks like it's the same neighborhood, but
it feels smaller to me.
Yes.
Feels like a lower budget version.
This goes to what I said, I think, the first time, that some of the later episodes, you can tell they cut the budgets for them.
Absolutely.
But Steve's house, like the front of his house is so oversaturated in like Halloween cutouts.
The cutouts. There's so many cutouts.
Every nook and cranny of that, like front of that house, is covered from head to toe, even though it's not a person, from top to bottom, covered in Halloween like beastal decorations or beastal and all the old like 90s cutouts. That I love. But even the trick-or-treaters feel a little off. There's a lot. So I did read about this. So I don't know if you guys picked up on this. In the episode, there's a bunch of times where the camera will linger on a random trick-or-treater and give them like a line of dialogue. It happens like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go over there.
Yeah. It's weird.
Twice.
It happens like 2 or 3 times. Apparently, one of those people won a contest to be an extra in this episode.
Was it like in the books? Like you know,
probably.
Like submit a UPC code or something like that? Yeah.
Probably, because I just remember like reading that, and then it makes sense. I'm guessing it was just like one group of,
or even
kids.
like a Fox Kids contest or something. Yeah,
and it's just funny because I was like trying to pick up like why are they like they do it? They didn't do it in the first one, but they do it a bunch in this one where they stop and it's like let's go to that house. Oh, I got a lot of.
There were contest winners that got like they're like you can win a part in Goosebumps. So your part is a one-liner.
Remember when they used to do that?
Yeah,
I wrote down that exact line was said in the first one. I wrote it down. Like there are these two kids that stop in front of the camera and this girl goes, where do we go next? She goes, let's go over there. And in the second one, the same exact thing happens, but it's a little boy or girl with their parent. And she goes, how about we go over there? It was like the same exact thing.
They do it twice though, because there's two girls that they do. I think you see these same two girls twice in an episode. You see them
I don't know
walking.
what's up with that. Yeah.
I think one of them is the contest winner. Either the two girls are or the one little boy.
I know that one of the trick-or-treaters is like the director's kid or something like that. I don't know if it's in both parts of part 1 and part 2, but I read that somewhere.
Oh, so that makes sense. They wanted to give them like a line of dialogue just so they can do something in the episode. Yeah,
that's cool.
To me it just stands out more in the sequel than like I said. I didn't even notice it in the first one. In this one, I noticed it several times. So
I just noticed because it's like awkwardly placed. So when I noticed in the first one, I was like, this is like, get out of my frame of vision.
Weird. Yeah.
And then it happens again. It is weird. I mean, it makes sense if it's like other young actors, they want a contest or it's the director's kid or whatever. They want to put them in there, but it's just so awkward to do it more than once. Yeah. I think once is enough.
Yeah. I picked up on that quick. One thing I wanna highlight here too is so Steve has a dog, Sparky. I talked about him at the very end. There's a scene where his mom is sewing his pirate costume and there's just a shot of Sparky wearing a Halloween party hat.
Yeah.
And then later on you see her holding Sparky and he's wearing the Halloween hat. And he barks at that trick-or-treat bag because Steve has the mask hidden in it. Mm-hmm. And the Sparky's barking, wearing the hat. And he's just like, I don't know what's going on with that dog. It's getting stranger and stranger. What an asshole. It's getting stranger and stranger by the year. And I'm just like, bro, leave Sparky alone. He's just hanging out there with his Halloween hat.
Yeah, I thought it was so funny because like they're not having a party. There's no like party going on. It's like the mom was just like, let's put a little Halloween hat on Sparky because we go hard for Halloween.
I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense because...
I mean, listen, Quill's got a Halloween costume.
And he's a cat.
You got to have a Halloween costume.
What's Quill's Halloween costume?
A lion. He has a little lion head that he's going to wear.
I'm sure he hates it too when you put it on.
Oh, he fucking hates it. He also has bat wings that he uses to wear, but whatever.
I tell you what, this dog Sparky though was like a team player,
trooper,
champ of an actor.
He was wearing the hat and
no diva behavior from this. actor.
You just see him sitting there wearing the hat, and when she's holding him, he has the Halloween party hat on. I was like, all right, cool. One last thing before our dislikes, which I guess we kind of went through already, but just to elaborate on anything else. The R.L. Stine intro and outro, still good. This time he's in the basement of the novelty shop.
Yeah.
Hanging out there, saying the shopkeeper must be busy. He's not here right now. And then it ends with him saying that Steve gave him some goodies this Halloween. And he picks a spider, referencing the spider in the hair. And he says, cream-filled, my favorite. Ugh. Happy Halloween. But it's like a gummy. It's like a gummy spider. He's great. He's so dry. It's so awesome how good he was in the intro and outro. Again, it made me want to go back and watch some of the other ones that he does like an intro and outro and see like how he tries to spice it up for each
I'm sure there's like a YouTube compilation of like just his intros and outros that we could find somewhere.
Just the intros and outros. So some dislikes. We kind of touched on them already, but like the Halloween vibes are not there. The set pieces aren't as top tier as they are in the original Haunted Mask, which is a bummer to me, at least, because there's times it does feel like Halloween, and it does kind of have the same kind of look cinematography-wise and atmosphere and lighting-wise, but the decorations aren't played up as much. Some of the shots they chose don't work the same way. You know what I mean? Like just kind of when it comes to like the way the camera moves and again, we complained about them focusing on these extras, like just weird choices.
I just don't think it's as good of an episode overall.
It's not as strong.
That's not to say that it's still not a great episode. Like I love every Goosebumps episode for a different reason. I could rewatch all of them. But like there's some that I'll pick over others. And so like obviously for this, I'd pick Haunted Mask over Haunted Mask 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really it. It's just I think the plot points, the use of those weird extras, and just some of the Halloween
the scare
vibes
factor is very low.
Falling short. It falls short in that department for me, at least.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
That's kind of my beef with the Haunted Mask 2. I think the coolest thing is seeing what happened next with these characters, continuing that story with Carly Beth and Sabrina and Chuck and Steve and the shopkeeper and the hippie mom and you know, stuff like that. Like, I enjoyed
no little brother.
No, Noah's there. He's there.
Is he?
Yeah, he's dressed up as a bumblebee.
Oh, a bumblebee. He said, "Let me wear your mask."
But even him, they do less with him in this.
Yeah. But I mean, Goosebumps was always, although it is an anthology series, the books even, obviously because the show's based on the books, there are other stories in Goosebumps that got sequels as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was a thing in Goosebumps for stories to get sequels, like Return of the Living Dummy or like Say Cheese and Die Again. Like there were sequel stories. I think some of those, even the sequel stories, some of them were better than this one. I think this was just like not a great follow-up. Not that it's bad, but like to the level that Haunted Mask is, like it's the top of Goosebumps, right? Like I said before. This doesn't live up to that, I think.
I say
that's kind of it.
I say it's a good companion piece to the original.
Right.
Because like
you see the same people.
Yes, it mooches off of the first one.
Right.
Which is what makes it decent. Because they got a lot of the people back. That's what made me still I do like this episode. So I don't want anything of what I'm saying to
I don't dislike it.
Like that's the thing. Like I don't want to sound like I'm trashing the episode because I'm not. Like for the recording, I watched the 244, like whatever, 4 parts on Netflix, but the 2 stories back to back. And I think they work super well complete back to back, but I think there is a disconnect from 1 to 2.
It's poor storytelling.
There's a noticeable dip in quality. That's what I'll say.
I also think the source material, the Haunted Mask 2, the book, is where they go in the book is there's a lot of differences in that story, even compared to the original one. They change up a lot of stuff from what I remember compared to this live action program special that they put, episode. So yeah, it's not as good, but like I said, the fact that they were able to kind of flawlessly connect the two with a lot of the same actors, it works because of that. It's like, all right, we like Carly Beth. We want to see what happens to her, you know?
I think the best consistency, I will say, in my opinion, I feel like is the fact that my favorite part about part 1 was Carly Beth, and my favorite part about this one is Steve. I think he was so good at just falling apart. It was so it's not meant to be funny, but like so funny to me. Him just falling down the hill.
To it,
it's so good. I thought they were both great.
Yeah, no, he is good. He plays well with the character of Carly Beth and the other kids. Like John White is the actor's name. He was good. He is good. Fumbling around, being really
looking at him. So the spiders. I mean, he was great.
And then they alter his voice a little bit, which makes it a little creepy, like what they did with Carly Beth in the original. But yeah, it's a decent follow up. There was, and we'll just share our final thoughts here to close out the episode. There was a 3rd book, and not a lot of information is known about it. You can look up the cover, and the cover is similar to the original cover, but this time it's a girl, I'm assuming Carly Beth, ripping the mask. So you can see some of her face ripping underneath it, but the book never got published. They never made them. Like they never were released.
That's a shame.
So we could have gotten another continuation possibly of Carly Beth in the future, and like maybe a 3rd encounter with the Haunted Mask So that we never got that. That's a bummer. They did do.
We did get. Yeah, I know you're going to say
got two versions. We got another version of the Haunted Mask as a story, which I've read once and barely remember, which is a retelling of the first book.
Yeah.
It was like Goosebumps Wanted, I think is what it was called.
Yeah. With like almost like a Green Goblin looking face for the mask.
It's like a updated version of the same story from what I remember with some alterations. Then there's Goosebumps Horrorland, which is a bunch of stories that take place in this fictional amusement park. And it does follow Carly Beth and Sabrina a third time and the mask coming after her, but it's really short.
Right.
And it's not as good. And I don't think it takes place on Halloween, which is, in my opinion, the strength. Even though we just said how this part 2 doesn't have as the Halloween atmosphere is not as on point as part 1. These need to be told during Halloween. Like these are Halloween set, stories. So I remember when I read that Goosebumps Horrorland book, Curse of the Haunted Mask or whatever the hell it was called. I was just like
the Haunted Mask Lives or something
like that. Yeah, I didn't write it in my notes. It was just disappointing. It's like no Halloween references from what I remember. I read it one time years ago. And yeah, I mean, it was cool to, again, the character Carly Beth and Sabrina are back, but it just was a little lackluster. And at that point, look, that was the end of it.
Still better than the version of it in the Disney Plus Goosebumps show, right? Like,
which had potential.
Had potential. Just very, very bad execution.
Again, I think I said it. I think these stories can be told to a contemporary audience if done properly. So,
but exactly, the execution wasn't.
There's some gems in there, some good points, but no, you can't redo that.
Yeah. Final thoughts, Sam. The Haunted Mask 2.
If you're going into this expecting it to be anywhere near as good as part 1, just please don't. Just watch it to see your friends again.
Your expectations.
Yeah, watch it to see your friends again and see how things go. And don't think you're too old for Halloween, because you're not.
Never.
Chris.
You're not.
I think you got to watch it as a full Haunted Mask 1 and 2. Both parts together makes 2 a better experience, I think.
I agree. They're a better kind of marathon
better together.
Watch. Yeah. If you watch part 2 by itself, why would you do that? But if you did, you'd be like, this is kind of corny and terrible.
Right.
But watching them as one, the 2 hour or whatever it is, hour and 30 minutes altogether, whatever the runtime would be, you're right. It does work well together. And that's where it's strong. Like that's where it strengthens. The original strengthens the lackluster
absolutely.
sequel.
It brings it up rather than 2 bringing 1 down.
If you watch part 1, you're gonna want to watch part 2. Especially during the Halloween season. It's a good double feature. Doesn't work well on its own, but together they're just the glorious escapades of Carly Beth, Sabrina, Chuck and Steve, and the shopkeeper, and most importantly,
did you know the shopkeeper was in Daylight?
Yeah, no. Gotta watch. Do a full episode on Daylight next time.
Okay.
When you tried to protect Carly Beth, when you threw yourself in front of the haunted mask, that was a symbol of love.
Oh boy, this is a little too deep for me.
A wading pool's too deep for you, Chuck.
So that was The Haunted Mask 2. I hope you guys enjoyed our double whammy covering these 2 wonderful Halloween specials. Regardless of what we said in this second with the sequel, they're still great. Doesn't matter. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Blue Sky, Facebook, @Haunted Hangover. Head over to hauntedhangover.com where you can find links to everything, including our Patreon page, where you can gain early access to episodes and bonus spooky content.
And if you can rate and review us, that would be greatly appreciated.
And as always, remember, the best cure for a hangover is
more booze. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.